Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Well, guys, we're going to proceed with our surface command, okay, 3D surface command, in order to create a certain part or a certain component in SolidWorks. All right. And in this video, I would like to show to you how are we going to apply rule surface. Okay. In our previous video, I've already showed to you how we're going to implement the extruded surface. And before we proceed further with the revolved surface, swept surface, as well as lofted surface, I'm going to show to you how are we going to apply the ruled surface, right? So let's get started. Let's say I'm going to have or I'm going to select my front plane as my sketch plane, and then I'm going to pick my 3-point arcs. You can pick any shape, right? But in this case, in these examples, I just would like to show to you how are we going to apply the rule surface by using 3-point arc. All right. So again, I'm going to pick 3-point arc, and let's see, I'm going to start from here, and the third point. And then I'm going to indicate the dimension. Okay, I'm going to make it 100. Right, and then I'm going to define this center point of the arc. Press Ctrl button and then pick this origin, and then I'm going to choose coincident so that it should be located at the center. Then I'm going to apply my smart dimensions for this radius of the arc list. I'm going to maintain with 50 mm, let's say, for examples. All right. Now, it's time for us to use the extruded surface. So I'm going to increase my length, and I'm going to change the direction to mid-plane. And let's see, I'm going to have 80 mm. Okay, the length from here to here is 80 mm. All right. So and then click OK. Now, I'm going to apply my rule surface. There are a few types of rule surface. If you click this one, okay, we do have tangent to surface, we do have normal to surface, we do have tapered to vector, as well as perpendicular to vector, and also sweep. So we will go through one by one and see how does it looks like. So first of all, we're going to touch about the tangent to surface. All right. So let's see the edge selection. You can pick any edge. You can pick this edge, as long as edge. All right, this edge, as well as this edge. All right, cool. Let's say I'm going to pick this edge, and as you can see over here, it's stated over since it's a tangent to surface, so this new surface which which have just created this one, all right, will perpendicular to this surface. All right, if we increase the length, it will show us like that. Okay, same to go this one. Let's say we would like to have the same command. We're going to use the same command at this edge as well, so we're going to have like that. Okay, and let's say if you would like to pick this one, this edge, and also this edge, so by having the tangent to surface, it looks like this. Okay, guys. All right. Okay, let's say if you do not want to apply at the rear portion here, or the rear section here, so I'm going to choose both of these and I'm going to delete. Right, and then I just simply pick this one. I've already deleted just now. Okay, accidentally deleted, so I just wanted to have in front of here, so it should be like that. Okay, and just click OK. Okay, so guys, it looks like this. And in this particular case, okay, you can have at the rear section over here, okay, but since I did mention to you just now, I just would like to maintain with the front sections, and I'm not going to apply this particular of additional surface at this particular of rear section. So that's why it looks like this. And if we refer to the surface bodies over here under the manager design 3, if you expand this arrow, we do have two bodies. One is this one, the surface extrude, which we already created this at the early stage of this activity, and this is the second one which we just recently created, all right, which is by using rolled surface. Now I'm going to edit this one, right? I'm going to edit this one, unless I'm going to clear all these, and let's say I'm going to apply the second type of rule surface, which is known as normal to surface. Now let us go and have a look how does this particular of type will looks like. Let's say again I'm going to apply under this edge selections. Okay, I'm going to pick this edge. Okay, since it's stated over here the type of this row surface is normal to surface, so it means that it should be normal. Okay, it should be normal to this surface. Same to go if we pick this one. All right, and if let's say we do not want to have at this side, we only need to have the on the right side only, so I'm going to eliminate or delete this edge. And if we reverse this direction, it will go to the other side. All right, and you can play around with the length. Okay, like this. All right, so now let's say I'm going to apply to all edges this time. So I'm going to apply this one. I'm going to pick this edge as well, and also this edge. There you are. So it will look like this. Okay, if let's say if I reverse or I select this reverse direction button, it will looks like that. Okay, let's say I'm going to reduce, since it's already reverse inside this main original surface. I'm going to it looks like bulky, so I'm going to reduce the length of this one. I put it around 10. Let's see how it looks like that. Okay, and if we again proceed the reverse direction, it looks like this. Okay, there you are. Okay, if I increase, if let's say if I would like to make it like this, I just need to increase the length, and I just click OK. There you are. So again, if we refer, okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we refer to the surface bodies, we do have two bodies, which is this is the first surface bodies, extruded bodies that we already created, and this is the second one, which is the roll surface, right? Okay, let's say I'm going to maintain with this one first, and I'm going to proceed, or I'm going to add another rule surface, which now is known as tapered to vector. So tapered to vector, if we see carefully under this manager design tree, we do have another one which is reference vector. Okay, we need to add another one more section which is known as reference vector. But first of all, let's say we select our edge first. Let's say I'm going to pick this edge, okay, in order to proceed with my surface. I'm going, okay, and then I'm going to click here, and this time let's say I'm going to pick this flat surface, or I can just simply expand this arrow and I'm going to pick my top plane like that. Okay, so since it's the name of this rule surface type is tapered. Tapered means that it involved with a certain certain angle. So you can play around with the angle. Okay, so as you can see over here. However, for your information, that the tapered to vector for the rule surface, you can only play around from 1 degree to 89 degree. You can't have more than that. If I say, okay, so instead it stop there. Even, okay, let's say 9. So if I reduce it, I can't reduce it anymore. So it means that the minimum is 1 and the maximum is 89. Okay, or else if you click again, they will go back to 1. Okay, you see, right? So that is how you can play around with the list. I'm going to make it 45. So it's like tapered with vectors. Okay, so if I pick this edge, this alternate side button will appear or will on. Okay, if I pick this one, okay, pick this one, H1, and if I change or I select this alternate side, it will change the position of this particular surface. Okay, let's see how does it look like if I select this alternate side button. So I'm going to click this one, and there you are. So it will some sort of reverse. Same to go with this one. If you go to here, so it will reverse, but it will reverse like that. Okay, if I reverse for this direction, and if I alternate side, it will play around at the top portion, whereas if I reverse direction for this one, so it will play around at the bottom portion like that. Okay, so it should be like that. Okay, so you can play around with the angle as well. As you see here, okay, you can play around with the angle. Actually, the length is still the same, but the only change is the angle. If you would like to increase, you can just increase this line. Okay, guys. All right. So I just simply click OK. All right. So that is about the um, rule surface for tapered to vector. All right. Now I'm going to proceed with the other one, which is the fourth type of rule surface, of ruled surface, which is known as perpendicular to vector. So now, let's say I'm going to apply the edge selections. I'm going to apply this one, okay, at the rear portion. And again, they were going to ask us about the reference vector. And this time, let's say I'm going to pick either this, as I mentioned to you just now, either this particular flat plane or flat surface, or I can simply go to top plane like that. So since it is perpendicular, so it should be like that, perpendicular, all right? So perpendicular to this particular of surface. If I change this one, it will like that, okay? Even same to go with this one, okay? It's almost similar, okay? Uh, if let's say you can try out, if let's say how does it look like if you pick this reference vector instead of using top plane, if you use front plane. It will look like that. Okay, and even if you alternate direction, it will become like that. Okay, so you can play around with the right plane. So it will perpendicular to it's almost similar with the top plane like this. Okay, if you choose the top plane. Okay, it's almost similar if you choose top plane or right plane. Okay, so you can play around this one later. Same as well as this one, yeah? Okay, tapered vector. Just now, as I mentioned to you just now, for the tapered vector, we only can have top plane. Why? Why? Because if right plane is if okay, I choose right plane. Okay, for this one, this is for tapered to vector. Just now, perpendicular to vector, tapered to vector. Because just now I forgot to play around with all these planes for the tapered vector. So now I would like to show to you how. So if I choose this one, I need to click this one first for the reference vector. If I choose front plane, okay, it will look like that. Okay, so you can play around. You can play around, guys. Okay, with this one later on. All right. So alternate, and then you can reduce it. Okay, you can see this one. Okay, it will reduce to a certain angle. All right, there you are. And let's say, how about if I play around with the right plane? Okay, and if so, right plane should be it cannot create. Why? Because right plane, this, since we already selected this edge, so it can't create any surface to this side or this side, because this is right plane, right? So they can't create this side to this side. But if you choose top plane, top plane, so okay, sorry, this one top plane. So top plane means that they can, this edge, they can create top and bottom, as well as we go to front here. Okay, so front, either it can create the surface frontwards or backwards. However, if we right, it's very difficult and it's impossible. Why? Because since we already choose, as what I mentioned to you just now, since we already choose this line, so it's impossible to create new surface to this side or this side. Okay, all right. However, for again, I would like to repeat. However, for top plane, of course, definitely this particular of each, they can create either top or bottom, like this. All right. If I choose this one, like that. Okay. And then if I pick the uh, front plane also, they can play around this one. Okay, front either frontwards or backwards. All right, so you can just simply play around with this one. There you are. Or you can also pick this edge, then alternate side like that. Okay, so you can play around this one later, guys, once you try out in your PC. All right, now this I'm going to pick this one. Okay, and the last type of we already talked about all these four types of rule surface, and the last type of rule surface is known as sweep. So I think sweep. If you still remember, uh, during the 3D solid modeling sweep command. Okay, sweep command. Definitely, once we in SolidWorks or in any design software, okay, uh, it doesn't matter whether it's Katia, whether it's Fusion 360, whether it's SolidWorks, or whether it's Inventor. Once when we talk about sweep command, definitely it will involve with two types of parameters. Do you still remember what are those two types of parameters for sweep command? Of course, the first one is the profile, and the second one is the path. Because why? Because this profile will follow the path in order to create a certain shape. So in this case, I think it is much more better if I show example with this particular of shape. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm going to make this time. Let's say I choose. You can choose any plane. Okay, but let's say this time I'm going to pick right plane as my sketch plane, and let's say I'm going to have a spline, and then I just simply draw. Okay, I just simply draw because I would like to show to you the ruled surface, which is the sweep type, right? So I'm going to apply my extruded surface. Let's say I do have like this kind of shape by using spline command just now, and now I'm going to surface extrude it with a mid plane and with a certain length. Let's see, I think 70 should be okay. Now, okay, uh, we go back to still on the surface. We go back to the ruled surface. All right, and if we pick sweep, okay, you pick sweep. Let's say we pick the edge selection first. The edge selection is actually your path. Let's say I'm going to pick this one. Okay, and then this is the reference vector. Let's say the reference vector, I'm going to make this one. The reference vector is some sort like it act like your profile, all right? So let's say I'm going to reverse it direction, and if uh, even though okay, let's say I'm going to increase this one like that, and even though instead of using the reference vector, okay, which is this edge, you can't choose this one, okay, because it is perpendicular. Let's say you would like to pick this edge, it can't. Why? Because it is perpendicular to this edge, which is the path. But this one can. Okay, this one can. There you are. Okay, so if you reverse direction, it will become like that. Now you can choose either this edge or this edge for the reference vector. Besides, by using the reference vector, you can also apply the coordinate input, whereby this coordinate input, okay, we the reference will be based on the axis, this three axis, which is this one, x axis, y axis, as well as z axis, or z coordinate. Okay, I'm talking about the coordinate, this one coordinate, which is also, you can refer to this, all these coordinate, actually you can refer to this axis as well. And then let's say I'm going to play around with this one. Okay, okay, can play around with this. There you are. Okay, so even if I'm going to pick this one, okay, just look like that. Okay. Instead of using just now, if I off this coordinate input, it will totally depend on the reference vector, which is this one. Okay, and even I will show to you one more, which is this. I'm going to pick this right plane as my sketch plane. All right. Oh, sorry. I'm going to create another one more new plane over here, or maybe, okay, new plane over here. So I'm going to go to features, plane, and let's say this is just now the length for this one is 70, so it should be 35. That, okay, okay, there you are. So I'm going to pick this plane 1 as my sketch plane, normal 2, and then I'm going to create one line here, one straight vertical line like this, and then I'm going to exit from the sketch, and I'm going to hide this plane. Okay, and if I play around with the rule surface, which is known as sweep, and this edge selection, I'm going to pick, let's say I'm going to pick this one, and this particular of reference vector, let's say I'm going to pick this one. It will show you like this. It means that it will follow the direction of this line. If I click this one, it will become like that. Just now, the reference vector, I pick this edge, right? So it means that it will follow this one like this. Okay, all right. So the sorry, I explained wrong just now. This is actually your profile, okay, and this is the reference vector is actually representing your path, okay. So dah terbalik already, all right. So let's say if I pick this one, so it will facing inwards, whereas if I click for the reverse direction, it will facing outwards. And even you can play around with this one. Okay, this is profile, sorry, okay, this is profile, whereas this is your path. Okay, even again, if I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to pick this one, so this is my profile. So, this is my path. Okay, there you are. Okay, so as you can see over here, the arrow facing upwards. So it means that the uh, new surface will be at the top section of this particular of original surface. And if you want to make it downwards, you can just simply reverse this direction like that. And if you want to have to play around with the coordinate input, you can play with this one. Alright guys, so this is how you can play with the what we so call it as a sweep type in roll surface. Alright, then let's click OK, and it will look like this. Okay guys, so hopefully that you understand about all this kind of rule surface. How are you going to apply this particular rule surface in 3D surface in order to create a certain part or a certain components in SolidWorks. Alright guys, so hopefully that you understand, you can try out. It is not necessary to have like this kind of shape or the shape like which I've showed to you just now. Okay, or already close just now, which I've created just now. You can create any. Okay, you can create any kind of shape. It doesn't matter. Alright, click OK. It doesn't matter. So as I showed to you just now that I've using the 3-point arc. Okay, so you can even use the ellipse. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, and let's say you can in this case you can just now at the beginning of this video I already showed to you by using the 3-point arc. So this one you can use the ellipse as well, no problem. Okay, and then you can just simply you know, apply with all those rule surface. All right, so sorry, go to any sketch, and then so this one. Okay, let's see, I'm going to apply the midplane with a certain length. Let's say I'm going to make it 80. Same as well as just now, okay? It is almost similar like the 3-point arc which I've already showed to you previously. And then you can play around with this rule surface. Okay, so you can pick this one. Okay, and then the vector. Okay, let's say this one for sweep. Okay, for sweep. So let's say I'm going to pick this one over here. So you will select that. If you want to apply the normal to surface, you will do like that. Okay, and even you can add few more edges. This one, this one. You can try it out later on. All right. Yeah. Okay, so you can apply as well. Let's say I'm going to I will just take a few more minutes. So let's say I'm going to join it together by using knit surface in order to make this one become as one body. So I'm going to knit. Okay, I'm going to knit for both of this one, and also this one all together, and then I'm going to click OK. Alright, so now if you refer to this surface body, if you expand this, it will already become one body rather than just now, instead of just now, which are two bodies. Alright, so now since I already knit it, okay, and I'm going to apply my fillet. Remember, if you would like to apply any fillet or chamfer in a certain surface, 3D surface, you have to knead it first. You have to join it first, then you can apply the fillet or the chamfer, fillet surface or chamfer surface, right? Okay, or else you can use these commands. Okay, remember you have to knead all the surfaces first, then you can apply with this kind of feature, which is fillet or chamfer. So let's say this time I'm going to apply my fillet, and let's say put somewhere on here and also here with, let's say, only 5 mm. Only 5 mm. Okay, I'm going to apply with the constant size fillet. There you are. So once after confirm, you just need to click OK. And then once after you already created this surface feature, which is fillet surface, you no need, in order to, okay, in order to create a certain thickness on this particular of surface, you no need to knead again. Why? Because fillets is a feature, it's not a part of this particular of surface. Okay, so you can straight away, you no need to knead again. Okay, you need to do again because, as I mentioned to just now, the fillet is a kind of a feature. It's not a, it's a part of the surface. It's a kind of a feature command. Therefore, once after you already created this fillet, so you just straight away can go to thicken, and then let's say I'm going to have 3 mm, and the surface that, or the surface that I need to select in order to create the certain thickness is this one. Okay, and let's say I'm going to make it, let's say 2 mm or 2 mm. All right, 2 mm. Okay, there you are. You can have a look like that, and then once after confirm, you can just simply click OK. There you are. So you looks like that. Okay, guys. So you can try out this particular of command, which is rule surface, and hope that you understand. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you in our next video. Thank you very much.